Hello everyone. Let us discuss another important topic from methodology of teaching science, that is role of science related events. And these events are Olympiads, competitions and conferences. So we'll be discussing how each of these events play an important role and how it can benefit the professional growth of a teacher as well as the students. Now, the first event is competition. We all are aware of what a competition is and what are the things that we can gain and how we can benefit from a competition and how it can be disadvantageous to one or an institution. So let us have a brief look at how a competition is considered important in the professional growth of a teacher. Uh, Now, it is an activity or a condition of striving to gain or win something by defeating or establishing a superiority over others. Role of competitions in education. Education and competition are very interrelated because it is often said that in order to achieve something you need to compete, and those competitions are integral part of the system of education. It helps in the development of knowledge and skills through a process which is a learning process. There are different types of competitions. First one is performance-based challenges, which is nothing but hands-on academic processes where students create a product or an object to solve a given problem, like making prototypes or simulations that perform to require specifications, like robotics competition with an example which is mentioned here. Now, the next type of competition could be tournaments, where knowledge-based competitions where two or more teams are put in head-to-head educational competitions, like Science Bowl and Science Olympiads. Third one is presentation and debate competitions. We all know here we need to require to develop some form of presentation to highlight their knowledge in a given subject, and either it could be in-person presentations or online submissions like how we are doing now. And debate competitions is very simple, as it is hosted as head-to-head challenges where teams are judged based on the validity of their arguments on a given topic, which has for and against. The next is fairs, where educational competitions which showcase students' projects that are judged on any number of criteria that are widely based on the subject matter of the fair. It could be local, regional, or state or national. Example is Intel Science Talent Search and Google Science Fair. Then exam competitions like American Mathematics Competition, wherein an exam is conducted in the form of a competition. Now there are different pros and cons of competitions as a science-related event, because the pros would be students work harder in order to win. It is a driving force for them to learn something or create something depending on the kind of competition that is being planned. Powerful motivator. Healthy competition can also help in boosting the self-esteem. Cons would include stress, disappointment, and if the competition is unhealthy, it could lead to lower engagement by the students. So this was all about the competition being a science-related event. Now let us look at the second science-related event, that is Olympiads. Now, a period of 4 years between Olympic Games is used by the ancient Greeks in dating events, and a major international contest in a particular game could be a sport or a scientific subject, which are learning Olympiads, which are called learning Olympiads. And Olympiad examination at school level are competitive examinations which are based on the school syllabus, which are conducted through various independent organizations. And It aims at cultivating scientific reasoning and logical ability among the students through a rigorous test, and primarily it instills scientific curiosity and vigor in young students to competitive exams. Importance of it is it basically helps you to identify a child's capacity and real potential that may help him survive better in today's modern competitive world. It can help motivate students to do better and develop better understanding of their facts in order to enhance their reasoning, analytical and problem solving skills. It brings out the areas lacking proficiency so that a proper orientation can be given to improve that area. So you better get an understanding of where exactly the student is lacking and where we need to improve or put in more efforts. Now the pros and cons are many. To start with, let us have a look at some of its pros. There are the advantages, which includes it tests conceptual understanding of the student. It checks whether the concept is understood by the student or not. It improves problem-solving ability and analytical thinking of the child. It prepares him or her for future competitive exams, provides exposure at national and international platforms, instills the quality of hard work, without which getting there is a bit difficult, sharpens thinking and learning. It awards and recognizes, and the awards and recognition, which a student can get, it could increase motivation of the child. So cons include, what are the disadvantages include? It is a bit too narrow-minded. It restricts knowledge to only one subject. Bit addictive, which is difficult to control the urge to do more or do better. Time consuming, because practice leaves very little time for hobbies, and the students who are into it would get very less time for doing some other things that they might like. It is highly stressful, both mentally and physically. Decreases curiosity, creativity, and leads to clinical and technical thinking. Knowledge too advanced to be of practical use, overlearning, because they are they're trying to get an expertise in a field, so it causes a bit of overlearning in a very specific area, and repeated failure may lead to frustration and demotivation. So this was about Olympiads. Now let us have a look at the third science-related event, that is a conference. We all know what exactly a conference is and what we do during a conference. But just to get a brief understanding of it in this context, it is an academic conference. A symposium is a formal meeting of researchers towards a common goal of presenting and discussing their work. So basically, when we talk about a conference, we imagine a group of people sitting and listening to a person who's talking about a topic in which all the members of that team are interested in. And now when we look at the types of conferences, it could be a themed conference where the theme is mentioned. It could be a general conference with a wider focus, with sessions on a wide variety of topics and need not be only on a given theme, and a professional conference. There are different roles played by the concept of this event called conferences, which is very huge, and it basically gives a chance to present new work to your colleagues with the purpose of receiving feedback at a given stage of research. If you're doing a research and if you want to get feedback from your colleagues or the experts in that area, you get a chance to do that during a conference, and it could be it could serve as a platform where you can improvise your research or your work before finalizing it for publication. And it can also help you update your knowledge base, because when you are together with people who are an expert in the field, you get to talk to them, you get to know information which you might not be aware of. Then it helps you learn new topics in your area related to research, related to tools and techniques. It also gives you an opportunity to interact with other researchers in the world and build professional relationships that will help you in your career for a very long time. You get to build connections with other scientists, and it can be places where you can present work, and sometimes it can strike a basis for a new research where you get some hint or get some idea of doing some new research, an area you could identify when you attend such conferences, and you get to interact with your friends and colleagues which are an expert in your field. And such events are often covered by media and can be productive scenarios to the presenters as well as their team. These conferences showcase the individual or group research-based talents, which can motivate them to do even better in the future. Now, some of its disadvantages include it could be a high-level competition, which not everyone can reach to, can demotivate in such a case, and poor feedback due to poor instrumentation can demotivate a person who is working on it, and the person might have to reflect back on whatever he or she is doing, and sometimes if the feedback is not proper, it may not lead your research and your work in the right direction. And it is a competition with the same topic. If it is a same conference, we are talking about the same topic over and over again. And a lot of expenditure because you are asking people to come together, so the arrangements, food, stay, their interactions, and all the other things which are associated for while managing a group of people causes a lot of expenditure. So this was all about the topic science-related event, and some of its references are here. So thank you. If you have any queries related to the topic, please feel free to type it in the chat.